It's the morning of September 16th right now. Matt and I traveled up north, about 5 hours north of Edmonton on the 14th. We met up with Nick and Mark. They're a couple hours south of us in an area where Nick's done some scouting in the past and seen some elk. So they're kind of trying that area out. Matt and I are a couple hours north of them. We're actually camped on the top of a valley that in 2012 I shot a bull with Matt in the valley. We called him into about 40 yards. And dropped him in the bottom of the valley. Pretty wicked spot. Last night we were just touring around, trying to get on, find some elk, find where we can make a game plan. We did find some elk in the evening feeding in a pea field. Watched them for a little bit, then they went back down in the valley. So tonight the game plan is hopefully to sit there and maybe get them coming out when they're feeding. We did see another small bull. He wasn't legal though. But right now the game plan is the ones we saw feeding in the peas. We're gonna drive around a little now in the morning, see if we can catch anything out in the fields. That'll change that plan. But as of right now, that is the plan. So we'll get in the truck here and tour around a little bit. Stay tuned. We got denied permission on all the spots we had picked out where we were seeing elk feeding to sit tonight. So we came into the Crown land, kind of above the little rivers or creeks that run throughout here. And we've seen some tracks, and now we're just going to try some calling and see if we can come into the bugle. But kind of rainy right now, windy, not ideal conditions, but I'll give it a try. So Matt and I are back in this Crown land, walking and calling and bugling, and so far I haven't had nothing talk to us at all. We've only been up here for a couple days, but we've bugled a bunch and nothing's talked. We've seen elk. We had a good game plan in a valley that I've shot one in the past. Figured we'd be good for permission, touch bases with a new landowner on the other side. And that just led to a domino effect of every landowner around that valley saying no due to road hunters and people coming in, chewing up fields and not asking. And he appreciated that we took the time to ask, but a couple bad seeds ruined it for the whole bunch. So that kind of threw a wrench in our plans. We've been walking in these big cut lines in the Crown land adjacent to the farmland, bugling and calling, but no such luck with any returning calls yet so far. So we'll keep pressing on and hopefully change that luck. It's September 16th today, midday today. Me and Matt talked to a bunch of landowners in the area where we seen the elk yesterday evening coming out to feed, and we got denied permission from every single one we talked to, and mainly the field that we were going to sit, the pea field. So there's about 30 minutes left in the day today. We decided to come back, just check that field, just see if anything was in there. Add insult to injury if there was. Thank God there was nothing in the field. But yeah, it was kind of almost a waste of an evening when our plans fell through. We had some permission all around this valley in previous years, but haven't hunted it in a couple of years. And we always like to touch bases with landowners, and because property switch hands and people change their minds, and everybody's got a bad taste in their mouth due to some poor hunters in the area tearing up fields and nobody asking, leaving fences down. It just gives hunters a bad name. So we'll check on. We'll find some more properties with elk. We'll get on them eventually, but not much happening tonight. So stay tuned. You're watching The Fever.
What's that over there?
That's an elk.
Elk for sure.
Bull.
Legal?
Yep.
Oh yeah, he's a legal bull.
Grab your spotter.
Where's my phone right there? Oh. You got that landowner's number?
I can get it. So let me pull up iHunter here.
Oh, I'd shoot him any day.
I'd shoot any legal bull any day.
True.
It tastes too good. iHunter. The quarter he's heading onto, I have a name. Hold on, I'll get the number.
A lone bull like that, you gotta think if we cow call or something, we got a chance.
If he keeps heading that way, he'll go into the next guy's quarter. We can call him. We don't have much time left. We only
You got
have
his number there?
20 minutes left of legal light. 25 minutes. He is slowly going that way though. It's pulled up, just click on it and then hit send.
Okay.
So we got like 25 minutes left of legal light. The bull's on a quarter right now. We don't know who owns it, so we can't do anything there, but he's heading onto a quarter that we do have permission on. We just got called the landowner and he said good to go. We have about 25 minutes left of legal light. So we're going to race out to a bush that's about halfway between where the bull's traveling and us. About 250 yards from here. Bull's about 600. We'll get to the corner in there, set up. Hopefully cow chirp. It's the only chance we have. Maybe he comes in, maybe he doesn't, but it's worth a shot. Last chance for the day for sure. Let's get going. Sight of him, but he was coming. He's coming, he's coming.
We just smoked a beautiful elk.
Last light. Frustrating day today. Last light, me and Matt. Same area we've been seeing them. Find a bull going across the field. Contact landowner, we're good in this section. Book it out on foot. We had 20 minutes. We get here, cow call, I see him book it at us. We tuck it in this bush. He bugles, rounds the corner, draw, he comes in, 20 yards-ish, not even. Kind of quartering to, ripped one right into him. Knew I hit him hard, arrow went in deep. He ran out 65 yards, stood there for a minute, then tipped over. My new Hoyt RX1, got a bull down, Easton FMJs. I don't know what to say. Legal sell 841. It's 837.
See his antler on the ground there.
So me and Matt came to where we got denied permission a bunch, just to check that field again, just to see if anything was in there. There wasn't, so we turned around and we're leaving. Almost back to the main road, and we spotted this guy going across the field. He was heading on to a landowner we hadn't talked to his land yet. So we quickly, using iHunter, got his name, was able to get his number, called him quick. He said giver. It was at about 8:11, so 8:11 was sunset. We had till 8:41. We had about 20 minutes by the time we booked it out in the field to this bush he was heading towards. Got to the corner of the bush, could see him out in the field about 250 yards. Matt was behind me. A cow chirped really loud 3-4 times. He was staring at me. I watched him on my glasses. Then all of a sudden he just came a-running. Told Matt he's coming. Couldn't see him anymore. Got arrow ready, knocked everything. And then we're waiting. Couldn't see him. And all of a sudden I heard him bugle. He was really close. And then I could see him walking at us, kind of rounding the bush. He's 45 towards me at about 20 yards. Hugged the shoulder. Threw an FMJ at him with my new Hoyt RX1. That the guys at Jimbo's Archery in Edmonton set me up with. I love this bow. I could tell I hit him hard. He ran out in the field. Stood there for a while. We watched him. And he was getting wobbly legged. And he finally tipped over. And here he lays. But first elk ever with a bow. I haven't shot an elk since 2012. I'm so stoked to get one with my bow. It's been a dream of mine my whole life, essentially. We were just so defeated earlier with everyone telling us no for permission and how quickly a night can change. Literally within 15, 20 minutes, we saw this elk and had him down. That's how quick it can happen. So, never count yourself out. Well, we just got my 2018 archery bull all broken down. We got the fronts of the game bags, the backs in the game bags. The Yeti cooler's got the straps and the tenderloins in it. So when we get back to the city, we'll be dropping this off at K&K Food Liner. I'll let Rudy and Bernie work some magic with it. And then I'll get the head here for a European mount to Darren and Caroline Carter of Solitude Taxidermy. Also, a special thanks to Stephen Smith of Smith Game Calls, but he was with Mark this year, and we appreciate all the time he puts in with us. But it was a great hunt, my first archery bull. You're watching The Fever.
The Fever is brought to you by PJ Trailers, Stampede Toyota, Vortex Optics, K&K Food Liner, Solitude Taxidermy, Traeger Wood-Fired Grills, and these other fine partners. The Fever is brought to you by PJ Trailers, Stampede Toyota, Vortex Optics, K&K Food Liner, Solitude Taxidermy, Traeger Wood-Fired Grills, and these other fine partners. This segment of The Fever is brought to you by Solitude Taxidermy.